I said, I would love
Yeah,
to get and I
yeah.
think
Sorry, go ahead. What?
well, no, I said I would love to get married, and I think it's awesome. But I gave this example, and then you can answer when I give this. Just tell me what you think about it. I said, if I marry you, I said this to the young lady. If I marry you, your dress would change, the car you drive would change. These things would all get better. The way you eat would be better. But what would I gain for being with you?
What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of the Celebrity Junk. You guys sent me this particular link of Tommy Sotomayor on the stream with Just Pearly Things, and of course, I've been reviewing some of it, but I haven't reviewed all of it. But to be fair, in the interview, there were some pretty interesting points that I would like to cover today. And despite me and Tommy's history, he made some good points that I think that are very valuable that I'd like to talk about with rich men in marriage. Now, this is very interesting. Kevin Samuels was, I would say, the spokesperson for the high value men. And pretty much Kevin Samuels spoke for a group of men that I believe, number one, where we didn't know very much about for the most part. And me, myself, trying to get on that level myself, I can understand why. Most guys who are very successful as black men, they do work in corporate America, a lot of times work alongside women. They cannot discuss how they feel for fear of the backlash or losing their jobs, right? And also you're starting to see a lot more of these men who are unmarried, especially in the black world. Now, Tommy Sotomayor talks about why men are losing if they get married, right? This is a strong point. I like to play this particular clip, and then I'm gonna come back.
And the thing is, like, what percent of men were really in power? Was anyone's lives like that good? Like in the you know what I mean? Like wasn't there the plague going on? Like, I think people were just trying to survive, to be honest.
Look, I want to say the only real difference would have probably been in the classes, but not even there, because then the men were expected to treat their women a certain way when they were dukes and whatever it was, the title they held. The women held the title as well, and they got, like, the only thing the guy would get to do was probably, I guess, cheat, and she couldn't say anything. But other than that, I mean, what power did he really have? Like you said, he had to go out and fight. He had to make sure that money was in the house. He had to make sure that food was in the house. He had to make sure that these things happened. So even when he took on a woman, and I was talking to a woman, and I wonder how you feel about this. I said, a man of means today, I honestly don't think marriage is beneficial to a man of means today. And I explained it this way, and you tell me what your thoughts are. I said, I would love to get married.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead. What?
Well, no, I said I would love to get married, and I think it's awesome. But I gave this example, and then you can answer when I give this. Just tell me what you think about it. I said, if I marry you, I said this to the young lady. If I marry you, your dress would change, the car you drive would change. These things would all get better. The way you eat would be better. But what would I gain for being with you? I said, you would now ask me, the man who, if I was stayed single, I can sleep with all the fine chicks I'd like. Now that I'm with you, you're now telling me I can only sleep with you. So the sacrifice I'm making is to make everything in your life better. But the one thing I really enjoy, which is strange women, I have to cut this out just to be with you. And what will you bring me? Well, you're not going to cook. You're going to want somebody else to cook. You're not going to clean a 10-bedroom house. You're not going to want to clean that. If I got the funds to be able to do it, you're going to want to let somebody else to clean it. So your life, again, is going to be made easier. And the prospect of, if I upset you, you can leave and take half of what I work for. And all I'm gaining is what? Most women cannot explain to me what I'm gaining in a marriage. And they say, oh, the security and comfort of having a good wife. And I'm like, most women cheat. So what would I gain? What is your thoughts on my excuse of why I think marriage isn't good for men today, especially a man of means, because I honestly think marriage is for broke people. But what do you think about marriage today, especially a man with means?
Yeah, this used to trigger me a bit, to be honest, when I first heard it, until I started thinking, I listened to the men, right? And really, it's like when you compare the women of 100 years ago, right? They brought purity to the table. They usually would have their own recipes that they like. There's just something about, you can order food, but there's just something about a woman that knows how to make like cookies from scratch, cake from scratch. Like, it's kind of sad today when you think about like holidays and stuff, what you're going to order takeout for holidays. Like, it's just, or what? Yes. And it's like women used to bring that stuff to the table. And, it's like in 2023, honestly, men really don't get a lot out of marriage today. And, they'll all say I'm a grifter and I'm a panderer or whatever. But it's just like, if you look at it from the men's point of view, the worst part actually is they can lose their most valuable asset. And it's not even money, it's their children.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's not like, what's more important than your kids?
But men have accepted that over the years, that's idea of when I get a divorce.
Now, he also mentioned a situation where a lot of women today don't want to cook. I want to play a clip from Shira 7, who she's telling ladies, this is the same lady who goes out and tells women to go out and get a man to invest in them, but that you should never do any domestic work. Let's play that clip.
Apart from being a provider, what other factors should you consider before you get married to him? That he will leave you alone and let you do you and have your life as you want it. Maybe not someone who's super controlling, but someone who allows you to, have the freedom to actually do whatever you like to do. Because I know some people get married, they think they married a slave or a maid. So make sure he's not one of those. Okay, sprinkle, sprinkle. Don't make sure he's not marrying you for domestic reasons. Okay? All right. That's just my best advice. Like, no one wants to be hired as the domestic help under a marital contract and still don't get paid. Okay.
So guys, his point is valid, right? It's very valid. My life as a man, and this is very, very, very important. Now, for me, as a person that looks at the Black community as a whole, getting married is very good for the Black community as a whole. For men, let's say, for example, if I have the ability to deal with multiple women, I could do that. But if I'm married to you, then I have to give up, he calls them strange women. I have to give that up. For men who are interested in that, you know who you are, right? Also, if I don't want to be financially committed to you, I don't have to be. But if I'm married to you, I have to be. Now, women, if they're married to a rich guy, all of these things you get more. Your life gets better. You improve finances. You get into a better socioeconomic class. You live better. You eat better. You look better usually. This is on average, but what do these men get in return? And he says he asks the question to women all the time. What do you bring? It's the same thing that we talk about. What do you bring to the table? That's what a lot of men are talking about. What do you bring to the table? Okay. Whenever you ask a woman, what do you bring to the table? They start to get very upset. And when they talk about, it's things that men don't really value. Oh, you're going to have access to a woman all the time. You're going to have somebody who loves you, somebody who cares for you. I mean, you can get that without marrying a lady, right? You could get that. Like, really, it's very beneficial. And then on the opposite side, you do see the risk. You do see the risk. That's what we're talking about, the risk. And there's no mitigation in these risks in America because you can lose your stuff. Okay? You can lose a lot of stuff. And this is what I'm talking about in general. Okay? This is exactly what I'm talking about in general. While I do believe in marriage, for the most part, I would say in this day and age, a lot of men gain nothing from it. I talked about it myself. My grandfather in 1949 was 31. At this time, I believe he was either baptized in 1949 rather, and then later became a deacon in that same year at the Macedonia Baptist Church in North Richmond. So those two things happened in the same year for him. But when he was married, which was not even to my grandmother, by the way, it was another lady. What was he getting from a lady in a marriage? Submission, a lady who would agree to do domestic things, all of this stuff. Like if I were to get married, a woman that wants to do domestic things, unless she's really like a lady that's living in another part of the world, In America, a woman may not feel that that's her right to do that for you, but it is still your right to provide. It is still your right. So like, what is the incentive in that? I might as well stay single. The only incentive is for me to say, I love the black community so much. I'm going to take care of this woman, spend my time dealing with this woman, and I'm going to love this woman in the black community so that our kids ain't going to be out here being violent. That's my contribution to it. Outside of that, which most guys don't care about the community that most guys are looking at what's good for them. And I can understand that. Men need to get more incentives from women to be married, or you're going to just see more guys doing what they've been doing. Like Nick Cannon, getting ladies pregnant, taking care of the kids, not getting married, keeping their own money. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe to the bell. We're out.